O Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo 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 Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Chayam Udirayet. We are reading from Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 11, I guess, and text. Who was? So it's chapter 11, it's called the Universal Form. And it's the chapter where Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, shows his very dear friend, Arjuna, that he is the universe. He is everything. Krishna is everything. And in the beginning, this is a very astonishing form to Arjuna. And then it transforms into a very shocking form. And then Arjuna asked him, please show me again your true form. Saumya Rupa. He says Saumya Rupa, which means a very lovely form. But before, please show me also your four-handed form. But the Saumya Rupa is the two-handed form. So now text 30. Li yase krasamana samantal lokan samakran vadanaich valat pi techo bir apurya chagat samagram pasastavo kra pratapanti Vishnu. O Vishnu, I see you devouring all people from all sides with your flaming mouth, covering all the universe with your effulgence. You are manifest with terrible scorching rays. Akyahi me ko bhavan ugra rupo namostu te devavara prasida vikyatum ichami bhavantamadhyam nahi prachanami tava pravritim. O Lord of Lords, so fierce of form, please tell me who you are. I offer my obeisances unto you. Please be gracious to me. You are the primal Lord. I want to know about you, for I do not know what your mission is. Text 32. Shri Bhagavanu Vacha Kalosmi Lokakshaya Krit Pravrido Lokan Samahartumiha Pravrita De Rite Pitvamna Bhavishyanti Sarve Ye Vastita Pratyanikeshu Yodha. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, Time I am, the great destroyer of the worlds, and I've come here to destroy all people. With the exception of you, the Pandavas, all the soldiers here on both sides will be slain. Purport. Although Arjuna knew that Krishna was his friend, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he was puzzled by the various forms exhibited by Krishna. Therefore, he asked further about the actual mission of this devastating force. It is written in the Vedas that the Supreme Truth destroys everything, even the Brahmanas, as stated in the Katha Upanishad 1.2.25. Yasya Brahma cha kshatram cha ube bhavata odanaha mrityur yasyopa sechanam ka ita vedayatrasa. Eventually, all the Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, and everyone else are devoured like a meal by the Supreme. This form of the Supreme Lord is the all-devouring giant, and here Krishna presents himself in that form of all-devouring time. Except for a few Pandavas, everyone who was present on that battlefield would be devoured by him. Arjuna was not in favor of the fight, and he thought it was better not to fight. Then there would be no frustration. In reply, the Lord is saying that even if he did not fight, every one of them would be destroyed, for that was his plan. If Arjuna stopped fighting, they would die in another way. Death could not be checked, even if he did not fight. In fact, they were already dead. Time is destruction, and all manifestations are to be vanquished by the desire of the Supreme Lord. That is the law of nature. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Gyanandana Salakaya Chakshurun Militam Nina Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Mukham Karoti Vachalam Pangung Langayate Girim Yat Kripatam Hangvande Shri Gurun Dina Taranam Shri Chaitanya Manobistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Svayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Svapadantikam Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Shri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So this is a very famous verse of Bhagavad Gita, in which Krishna speaks very powerfully about himself. Most powerful, actually, because he says, I am time, Kalosmi. And time is the unconquerable force of the world. Nobody can stop the time. It's the energy, actually, of the universe. It's what makes everything move. It's the force in the universe. One of the elements in Sankhya Yoga, also they count that there are different elements, and time is also counted as one of them, on top of all the different elements of which the material world is consisting of. And Arjuna asked here in a very fearsome way. We hear here in this verse before, he says, it's a Ugra Rupa. I'm seeing right now an Ugra Rupa. Ugra means terrible. Right? Normally we think about Krishna as being beautiful. But here Arjuna calls Krishna ugly, terrible, Ugra Rupa. Because he sees the universe in Krishna. Krishna shows the whole universe with all this power and all these terrible things, and also the future of the devastation of all the soldiers. And it's said that this universal form has a huge mouth and with teeth, and it's chewing up all the soldiers on this battlefield. And it said the soldiers, they are hanging between the teeth of this form. Yeah? So it's quite fearsome what Arjuna sees, because Arjuna sees the future. Arjuna is on this battlefield amidst all these millions of soldiers, and this universal form, or Krishna, shows him what will happen in future. So Arjuna is very afraid, and then says, who are you? Because he was living with Krishna all the time together as best friends. He's his best friend. And they were also in the same age, so to say. Of course, Krishna is eternal, but in this human Leela, he played like a prince, coward boy, prince, king. And so he had his princely friend, Arjuna. And he had so many adventures together, amazing pastimes together. And this is how Arjuna knew his friend. But suddenly Krishna shows himself being everything. That's quite astonishing, to show the universal form. The whole universe was seen in Krishna, and time, past, present, and future, and all that. So Arjuna was bewildered. And he asked, who are you? Who are you? And Krishna doesn't say, oh, don't worry, I'm your friend, I'm Krishna. He says, no, time I am. And he says, Lokakshaya Krit. I am the destroyer of all living entities, of all worlds. Because time destroys everything. And he says, I came to destroy everything. This is my purpose. So when Krishna comes, he has many purposes. Right? He has the purpose of, this was one of his purposes. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharat abhyutanam dharmasya tadatmanam srichami. He says, whenever and wherever there's a decline in religious principles, I dissent myself. Whenever the religious principles are upside down, there's a chaotic situation, Krishna comes. For what? Paritranaya sadhuam vinajaya chadushritam. To destroy the miscreants, the demons, and to deliver and save the devotees. So when Krishna came here 5,000 years ago, this was the situation. The earth was overloaded with demonic forces. And it was so an intense situation that Krishna himself came. So this is the external reason to bring the law and order. But he has also an internal. It's not just, oh, see, there's a problem on earth, I have to come, my mission, I have to help. No, he has also a desire out from himself to paritranaya sadhunam, to show the devotees his true self. And when Krishna came, he was not just coming alone, he was coming with all his associates, he was coming with his supreme realm, with Goloka Vrindavan. He imported from the spiritual world. In one sense, it's eternally there in Vrindavan, but he revealed also the spiritual reality, and he revealed the relationships he has. So to say to the devotees, see, this is how it works, this is what you can have, so don't try so fanatic for material pleasures if you could have me and my reality. So in that sense, Krishna says, oh, I'm time and all this. Yeah, it's true. He identifies himself here with the material energy. It's a pantheistic understanding, right? We have a pantheistic view in the Bhagavad Gita also, but it's not the absolute. Pantheism is not the absolute. Pantheism is just one aspect. When Krishna says, Vasudeva Sarvamiti, everything is Vasudev, everything is me. He says, I am Rasuham Apsu Kaunteya Prabhashmi Shashi Suya Pranava Sarva Vedishu Shapta Ke Parusham Narishu. He says, I am the taste in the water, I am the light of the sun and the moon, I am the ability in man, I am the sound in ether, Shapta Ke Parusham Narishu. Yeah. He says, I am the original smell of the earth, Ganda, what is this? What is the verse? Anyway, I'm the original smell of the earth. Yeah. I'm the seed of all living entities. I'm the beginning, middle, and end. So he identifies himself with matter, saying, I am everything. But he is not just matter, he is also the source of the matter. Right? So he is the origin of the matter, he is the matter. So he identifies himself with the material energy. So this is his material aspect. But then he has the spiritual aspect. And this is what devotees strive to achieve. Mahatmanas tu mangparta daivim prakritim ashritaha. He says in the 9th chapter that my devotees, the Mahatma, they are in my internal energy. Mahatmanas tu mangparta daivim prakriti means in the internal energy. So even though we might live in the material world, we will be protected by Krishna and we live in his spiritual energy. For a real bhakta, the laws of material nature don't work anymore, even though it seems like, but this is Krishna who directs it and arranges, so the karma stops. When we surrender to Krishna, the karma stops. The only thing what we experience now is like the last reactions, which Krishna allows to come through, that we learn something. And Prabhupada gives the example of a fan, and you have a fan on the ceiling, yeah, and then you plug the energy. So there's no energy coming anymore to power it, but still it turns, but it's about to stop. So when we surrender to Krishna, we plug out the current, right? We plug out the cable. We don't do karma anymore if you really surrender, right? You half-hearted surrender, I don't know what Krishna does then, but if you say, Sarva Dharman Parityaja, Mamikang Sharanang Vraja, if you surrender completely, everything, then ahang tvang sarva papebhyo. I take away all your papa, your sin, your karma. I take it away. And he says, ma shuchaha, do not fear. Right? We might fear, oh, I surrender, I move in the temple, I shave my beautiful hair. Yes. But you should not fear. Surrender your hair. Yeah. Surrender everything. Do not fear. Krishna will reward you. Yeah. Surrender your life. And Krishna will take care of you. That's most wonderful. Like he was taking care of Arjuna. He was driving his chariot. Krishna drives the chariot of Arjuna, and Krishna will drive also our chariot. He will take care of our life and everything. So we should not worry. We shouldn't. Our only worry should be, how can I surrender? Yeah. So the more intelligent we are, the more surrender we can do. Because the more we see how the futility of all material endeavors. Because you see, it's for what? You see the end result, which is nothing. Yeah. So that's why Krishna speaks very much about renunciation in Bhagavad Gita. Yeah. And it's just good for us. Why be? There's a very nice verse actually in the 5th chapter. 20. something. Yes, here. So, 22. Yahi sang sparsha cha boga dukkha yuna evate adyantavanta kaunti nat teshu ramate buddha. An intelligent person does not take part in the sources of misery, which are due to constant contact with material senses. O son of Kunti, such pleasures have a beginning and an end, and so the wise man does not delight in them. Very interesting, Krishna calls it the sources of misery, because misery has light, yeah? The Quellen des Lights, because we think is a source of happiness. We think, oh, this will make me happy, this is wonderful, but it's a source of misery. These are pleasures which have a beginning and an end, and you get attached to it also. So you get attached to something which will go away. And during it goes away, it kicks you. This is Maya, right? She tricks you, she kicks you. Yeah? This is her job. It's that Maya has a trident, yeah? And with three spikes. Adhyatmika, Adibhautika, and Daivika Klesha. Three kinds of suffering. And the first, Adhyatmika, or let's say Adibhautika, is from other living entities. Problems, other living entities, suffering is coming from other living entities. Like from your parents at times, from friends or enemies, from neighbors who borrowed your lawnmower, how's it said, lawnmower, and never gives it back. Oh, my dear neighbor, I need this and that, can you give this to me? I will bring it back in 1 week. Never see it again. Or from your ex-wife, yeah, ex-husband, they have wars. So other living entities giving trouble to you. Or mosquitoes. So many mosquitoes here. You recognize? There's so many mosquitoes here. Man, so cold outside. Now they come inside. I think that's the reason why they're inside, because it's getting cold and they fly inside. I don't know. Yeah. So other living entities give trouble to you. Adibhautika Klesha. And then you have Adidaivika Klesha. It's come from the Devas. These are the natural forces like heat and cold and pestilence, or how to say, dry seasons, or hurricanes, or like that. It can be also very terrible. When it's really, really cold, here's getting really cold. It's no pleasure. Or it's getting sometimes really hot, like in India, it's at times so hot, you cannot do anything. Or in other countries, it's so hot, or so dry, or so humid. South America or something, right? It's so humid, and water running from your body all the time. It's quite, unpleasant. So this is the natural forces. These are the natural forces which are giving you pain. And third, Adhyatmika Klesha, your own self. And this is probably the worst. From your own mind, from your own mistakes. Like this. So when you drive on a street and another car passes by you and hits you or something, this is Adibhautika Klesha, right? Another living entity. Or a deer runs in front of the car. When you drive on the street and suddenly it starts raining or snow, or the street is full of ice and you slip and you have an accident, this is Adidaivika Klesha. On the same street, same car, but you fall asleep or something, it's Adhyatmika Klesha. Right? The same problem through different causes. And he said these are the three spikes of Durga. Durga means difficult to overcome, material energy, right? Maya. And this is what she always pinches us. And the moment when it stops, if the pinch, the suffering of the pinch goes away, this we call pleasure. Right? Oh, it doesn't hurt so much anymore. Huh? Oh, it's summer, I'm enjoying. Why? Because it's not cold. Cold goes away, or it feels warm, this is pleasure. So we call just the absence of suffering happiness. Right? The absence of suffering is called happiness. And this is what we are striving for. Always searching for happiness in the material world, which is just the absence of suffering. So Krishna says there is a true reality where there is a happiness in itself, not something which is just happiness because it's not suffering. Is something what is happiness in itself. This is the spiritual reality, which is the true reality, not this illusory, temporary reality. Yeah. So in that sense, this is very important to understand. And the verse before, such a liberated person is not attracted to material sense pleasure, not attracted to sense pleasure, because he can see through it's illusion. But is always in trance, enjoying the pleasure within. In this way, the self-realized person enjoys unlimited happiness, for he concentrates on the Supreme. Because we concentrate on Krishna, and Krishna is unlimitedly more wonderful than anything the material world has to offer. But before we don't have a sense for that experience, understanding, we are still attached to material pleasures. We cannot stop it. Vishaya vinivartante nirahara sadhenam rasavachang Sopyasya parang drishtva nivartate. Yeah, thank you very much. It's good to have a pandit, right, who can give us the shlok, appropriate shloka. So in this verse, very important verse, it said, you can stop the engagement with the senses and the sense objects, vishaya. You can stop this, but the taste for it stays within. Right? You stop doing some illicit activity, taking drugs or watching some movie, having some habits, right? You can stop. Now I renounce. Now I become yogi. Now I'm a sannyasi. I stop doing it. But in the mind it stays. Yeah? So Krishna says you cannot overcome. In the 3rd chapter there's also a verse where it said, then you are an pretender. Right? Oh, I meditate, I renounce and everything, but in the mind you still think about the same thing what you renounced. You're a pretender. But in this verse, we quote it, Krishna says, the only way how to really give it up, if you have parang drishtva, and higher taste, if you have a higher experience, and then this lower experience is automatically given up. Like if you eat your whole life butter bread, actually I like butter bread, but anyway, it's just an example. Just butter bread, every day the butter bread, the butter bread, the butter bread, right? And you are satisfied, you know nothing else. In the morning, and noon, and evening, and this is what you eat. But then I come with a wonderful, fresh, by Goranga made pizza. Wow, but a thin, like Italian style, not some like thick, German style pizza with such a dough thing, small layer, right? Very thin and wonderful, and delicious things on top, and self-made cheese and whatever, yeah. With basilicum, fresh basilicum. And then you taste this, and you never tasted that before. You only know butter bread. You're like, amazing! What is this? You're blown away. You will not touch the butter bread. You have a higher taste. Right? So we are like this. We want the happiness, but we're searching the material world in form of sex, drugs, rock and roll. And because we know nothing else, we think this is cool. And this is how we pave our way, our highway to hell. we walk on the highway to hell. But then Krishna comes in our life by good fortune. Pramanda pramite konya bhagavan chiva Guru Krishna prasade pai bhakti lata bija. By Bhagavan, by good fortune, we get the devotion, the seed for devotion by the spiritual master. And then this bhakti lata grows and we experience a higher taste, which is so much better than this dry bread of material experience. And this is how we walk the stairways to heaven. Right? We change direction. We go the right path to Krishna. Yeah? So this is Krishna's mercy, if we can understand this. But parang drishtva nivartate, we need a higher taste. We cannot give it up. Because the soul is by nature pleasure seeking. We want to enjoy. This is our nature because we are parts and parcel of Krishna. Mamangsa, Chiva, Loke, Chiva, Puta, Sanatana. We are fragmental parts of Krishna. So we have the same inclination. True life means enjoyment, means happiness, means pleasure, means bliss. So we search for that. But Shastra is now in the wrong place. Like in a desert. You're walking through the desert and you're about to die because it's hot and you have nothing to drink. And suddenly you see the oasis with the palms and with the clear water and the fruits, right? The typical oasis. And you run to the oasis, oh finally shelter, and you jump in the lake and you jump just in the Sand, and you drink the sand. This is Maya. She pretends to be something wonderful, but actually she's like nothing. Like nothing. But as the oasis exists, but just not there in the desert, but another place because it's in projection, in the same way the pleasure we are searching for in the material world exists, but not in this place. It's a projection in the material world from the original spiritual reality. So pleasure itself exists, but just not in this world and not in this way, not in this lifestyle. So this is what Bhagavad Gita is about, to change our consciousness, right? To change direction. And then you start the first steps in devotional life and you have some experience. And for further instructions, there are more texts which go more in detail. And so we are guided all the way through Krishna until we reach the supreme goal. So Krishna is helping us with giving us knowledge, sending devotees, sending spiritual master. So we are completely sheltered, protected. We just have to consent. We just have to say, yes, Krishna. Yes, Krishna, I will do. I will follow your orders. When we are obstinate, when we are revolutionaries, if we are like, disobedient, yeah. If we are demons, then we're demons. Asura, and we are not Sura, we are Asura. And then it will be very difficult. I don't need you, Krishna, I do it my way. My way is the highway to hell. Yeah. So the demons work. But if we are humble, intelligent, and we consent, we agree, it's automatically that we make advancement, which you can experience. It's not just words and just hopes. It's an experience. You experience the higher pleasure. How can it be that we are sitting here and are not doing that what the whole world is addicted to and propagating as the best thing? Sex, drugs, rock and roll, wonderful, right? And we can simply say no because, not because we are brainwashed, but we have something better. Right? How can we, who are devotees, right, who are seriously practicing, be happy without doing that what makes happy? Because normally this is what makes happy. Money and this and that. And the devotee lives so simple and is way more happy than the ones who have all that stuff. Because there's a pleasure within, there's pleasure in Krishna. Because it works. It's not just in belief. It's a question of experience. So, this is why we are here. This is a temple of ISKCON, of the Hare Krishna movement. This is why Srila Prabhupada brought this movement in the West, to give shelter to all serious seekers in association together. And it works. It's a movement meant to revolutionize, bring a revolution in the world, actually. It's a movement to bring in a revolution. As Prabhupada says or quotes the verse from the first canto. What is it? Yeah, Tatvak Visargo Channa Taga Viplavu. Yasmin Pratishlokam Abadavatyam Pi Namanyanantasyo Yasho Ankinan Yashrin Vante Yanti Grananti Tat Sadavaha. That this knowledge, this Tatvak, actually these words, it's Tatvak Visargo, are in creation, a spiritual creation. And they are there to bring a change, bring a revolution in a misdirected civilization, Prabhupada says. Bring a change and revolution in a misdirected civilization. Yeah? And those who are wise will accept these words, even though they might be irregularly composed. Yeah. So this is the message of the Bhagavatam, the message of the Bhagavat. It's meant to be the light in the dark age of Kali, so that people have a direction where to go. And those who are intelligent, it said, Krishna Vanam Tvisha Krishnam Sangu Pangasta Pashadam Yagyai Sankirtana Prai Yachanti Hi Sumedashaha. Sumedashaha means very intelligent. They will accept this Hare Krishna movement of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay, thank you very much for being with us, fighting transcendental war against the inner demons. Together, a spiritual army, spiritual warriors. And let's keep on doing the important work. Srila Prabhupada Ki, Nitai Gaur Premanande.